Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Em. Do you like my stickers on the front of my book? I live with a person who really likes kitty cats. So much so that I myself have to become a kitty cat every single morning, if you can believe that, in order to get the day started. It's something different. Doing a real-time sketching of a head just as like a little bonus video to see if that will be useful to you, if I can talk you through what I'm sort of doing and how I'm starting out and also finishing and being in the middle part too. Jesus. So I just like to put down a little towel to hold my pencils there. I know I said I'm just going to do a head, but just in case I do some other stuff. And also, it's just a good tip. I saw a Chris Hong video where she did it. She put a little towel down, and then it stops your pencils from moving around, and it's really convenient. Okay, I didn't make that up. Chris Hong did. So I'm gonna probably start, I'm gonna do it right here, I think. I was gonna use a smaller book, but then I was like, no, I wanna keep it in the same book as much as I can. I guess I'll start with the orange. Okay, enough yapping. God damn. Just gonna have a little bit of coffee. Just make sure my coffee's over here. I'm not insane. All right, so let me see if I can try this one. Let me squint my eyes. First things first, I squint my eyes. I'm gonna draw sort of a area that I'm gonna work within because I need to do that for myself. So mostly the shape that I see, I'm just gonna try to draw the shape that I see, which is kind of like a square on an angle. Try to draw the biggest shape you can see out of the whole thing. I shouldn't even have done like where the neck would be yet, so immediately mistake. And this shape is gonna change, probably a little bit. But it's just a rough idea of like where stuff is, you know? So this kind of goes like this. Now I'm going with the style that I had done in my previous 100 heads video. And just kind of working on expanding that because I felt like that was working for me. Where's my eraser? The Polychromos pencils erase really well with a kneadable eraser, if you can. Sometimes the area you're working in is too small. What can you do, right? But so anyways, yeah, I'm going to try not to look at the details as much as possible. And I'm just going to work back from doing as blocky to, making those blocks smaller and smaller and smaller until I get to actually doing the details, but we're far away from that. That's the best way that it works. That goes down there. Because that first big shape is going to start giving you like a little map to what you got to do. And I don't think this person has the skinniest neck I've ever seen in the entire universe. Where I had it originally was much more. This is like kind of a lot bigger than I normally do as well. So don't know what you're going to do with that information, but just so you know. So what I love about this reference in particular is the glasses. They're so cool. So hopefully I get them right. So with the style, I'm trying to figure it out more. And I want to make them a lot more stylized. And then I want to learn how I can apply that style to every situation so that can then be my style. So finding out where I was going with that was imperative to the whole thing. But it took me a really long time to even get to the point that I did in the last video. I just had a really hard time finding it. So don't overthink the shape of the glasses, just settle down a bit, will you? If there's one thing about me that you need to know, it's that I'm going to be confused about the nose. Every single time. Glasses are also fun because you don't have to do as much work with them. I think I mentioned that before. We'll figure that part out later. That's too much detail to be doing for now. Okay. Her nose seems smaller than this. And that. So how are we going to... It's actually a bit of a tricky picture to look at. But I think I'm looking at it a bit too much, and I should just still be at squinting eyes stage, you know? No, that makes sense for the nose to be there, I guess. Sometimes I'm overthinking stuff, you know? Not going to focus on something that I'm like not currently capable of understanding. So do that. So I'm going to move on to where the ear is. And the ear is like a little bit tucked under there. The eyes are like this. There's a bit of an eyelash situation there. Trying to nail down where the eye is. The end of the nose is where the mouth ends there, so that was a little bit too big. And we can see a bit of the pupil there. Can you see? I hope this is a good angle for you. And what's interesting is the glasses, I suppose because of the angle of the head. Yeah, they're pretty much like forward a bit. And I was putting them way too far back. That was the issue. Because actually where the eye is, I'm not sure like if the eye is placed properly, but we're going to work with the way that it is. I hate how the glasses are. They're actually so... I take back everything I said. Okay, I feel like that looks better. And a little bit of a crease in the eye there. I suppose we can pull that off. Something like that. And so now what's happening here? Teeth. There's some teeth showing. Try not to make the chin a big deal. Because the chin always gets me. And it always seems like it's bigger than it is. Like when I'm done drawing it, it's always like, what happened here, you know? And it's really never a big part of the actual drawing. Like it's not something we need to be focusing on. Well, unless it's somebody who has a really big chin, I suppose, and it's like part of their character. Okay, and really The eyebrow is just kind of there. It is sort of obscured. And I always get too caught up with what's happening with the nose. That's just something about me. I guess let's move over to... Then I can zoom in my eyes, you know what I'm saying? And sort of see a little bit more angles in there. And can slowly start to put those ones in. Just got a lovely earring here. There is a bit of a shadow as well. Like that. Yeah, I'm not going to touch anymore what's going on with the face. I actually quite like it. I thought the glasses were going to help me, but I wasn't really being helped very much by them, so just because of the angle. And I'm just doing this quickly anyway, so whatever. Doesn't have to be perfect. Once you start thinking things have to be perfect, then that's when you get kind of caught up and I'll just erase down here because not much is really going on there. There's a bit of a shadow, but I'm not sure if I want to really work on that just yet. Yeah, ears is another thing where it's like, just do like the bare minimum. Trust me. You don't want to be messing around too much in there. Yeah, it's not going to do us any favors to do that. That's already too much. I don't usually like to kind of just do the top. Something here, and then something kind of there where the inside is. Let's just leave it at that for now. Got the nice earring going. And actually made kind of a mistake because the bottom of the eye is really like touching the eyelid. Just about. So I guess I have to do that. Whoops. If you know me, you know I hate doing hats. Inexplicably, I always pick reference photos with hats. And right away, I'm making this hat way too big. So it actually kind of goes around. That kind of goes like... And we're going to try our best to not think too much about this when we're doing it. Truly, that's the best thing you can possibly do is like to not think about it as much. Like that. So try and do something like really flat there just to show it's a beret. I don't know. Hopefully that comes off. And I think that she looks younger than, you know, the picture, but so let's try and make the glasses work for us now that we've done that. There's a reflection thing happening here. We're going to express like this, boop. And there's stuff happening within the glasses, like a little, maybe an indicator of where the nose pad is, just to make that clear, because I would never normally do that, but that's just because I'm finding it difficult to show what's happening there. So I figure if we can kind of give an indication that there's a nose pad right there, just because the glasses are very forward, it sort of gives an explanation. I don't know. That's just kind of what I'm thinking of doing. Don't want to do too much about the eyebrow because it's not really the main focus at all. Okay, I think that the forehead is good, besides maybe bit straighter there, just where seems to be a line kind of there. Maybe I have to make this hat a little bigger. It's just that if I make it bigger, we're getting into chef hat territory, I feel. Okay, and something needs to be going on with this, where we need to explain our beret. Well, what can you do? It's just a sketch. Okay, so I took it to a mirror and I think it looks okay for a quick sketch. I think I need to be a little looser and have a little more fun, but being on the camera and this is my first one of the day kind of... So I could always come back to it, really. But I think it looks good. I like the eye. Bit of a hard time with the glasses, that's all right. Maybe let's put another reflection in this one, just to kind of match it, even though it's really not there. And I'll put a nice line here. Oh, let's finish this off somewhere. Okay. I think just the angle of the where like the teeth are and stuff, I kind of messed up. So I sort of want to try and get it a little more. It's like she's like right about to talk or something. And I think that the angle is a little off. Okay, so then I realized, of course, there's something wrong with the ear. This is always kind of how it goes. And just so you know, this is why I never do like tutorial kind of stuff, because I'm not good at it. And I'm basically like guessing my way through everything and doing stuff until I think it looks good. Obviously, like, make it as good as I can. All right, well, I think I've kind of taken all the stuff that I can do with this and did it. You can give her a little bit more of an eyeliner look, because fluffy eyelash look, I guess you can call it. Go a bit like that because of the eyebrow under there. But that's getting to be a little much, a little bit too much detail for my liking for that. I hope the ear is okay. I hope it's in the right position. That's something I'm always really worried about. And bit of a shadow here. I'd rather keep all this stuff really loose. That's kind of the thing. And then it never happens. I knew this beret was going to be a problem for me. And I knew it was going to freak me out to the point where I wouldn't be able to do this properly. Let's just kind of chill a bit on that. Anyways, it doesn't have to be perfect. We've got this. We got our nice little earring here. What's the number on this? The hell? When did I last do these things? Okay, I guess we can say 30. Okay, so I'm going to start out by using this color, just because it suits, I think, the person that I'm going to draw. So I'm going to start out by not giving myself enough space right off the bat. And I'm just trying to draw the shapes, kind of the big shape that I see. And I just start out by putting a bunch of lines where I think things kind of are and sort of try to go from there. But I actually picked this picture because I like the hat. I don't know, something about the hat is really fun. And the face is nice too. Just gonna go like that for now. I don't want to make, I like doing this part, but I never want to make the person look old, and that'll do it. Just gonna stand up because this is easier for me. Gonna just try something new by doing like the eyebrows like that. I don't know if that's gonna work. I think the nose should be a bit more. Okay, so the eyes are a little bit like that. And oh, cool, an earring. Love that. I love a little earring. So jealous when people do it digitally. They can be like, just gonna chop that off, make it a little bit bigger. Don't know why I'm making this person's eyelashes so ridiculously long, but that's okay. It's like a little bit smiling. I'm like, are you smiling or not? I don't know. So we kind of got our angles here. That's pretty much as close as I think I can get. Always tough to do shaved head too. It's like very fine line. So I just do kind of some lines with purposeful spaces in between. And again, this is just my style. This is like not exactly trying to make it perfectly accurate to the reference, just trying to use the reference as like a guide to kind of make cool shapes and stuff, you know, that kind of thing. So when you're picking references like that, I would say just keep that in mind. It doesn't have to be exactly like it. You're trying to just find one with cool shapes. You can make it look as much like the reference as you want. Do whatever you want. But I'm just saying, like, look for cool shapes in references because it's helpful. I guess what's a good way to cut this off here? I feel like this eye is a little bit more looking in a different direction than I've got it, unfortunately. So I'd love to fix that. Don't know how capable I am of fixing it though, unfortunately. It's also fine. Like, it also doesn't really matter that much. I think it's close enough. So let's figure out maybe the hat. Couldn't have been in a worse position on the book, to be honest. Whoops. Think I'll just do like that kind of thing, just for like a fun angle. And we'll do a little shadow there. There's actually quite a lot of shadow in right here, which I like. Go like that. So just darkening stuff, bringing out the edges. What do we got here? So I kind of did like a stylized sort of eyebrow thing here. I don't know if that's working for me. I like it. Trying to figure out a way to do the eyebrows. I try to find like a method to do that I can keep going back to, and truly I should be writing it down. Because I'll find the method and then I will forget about it like 2 weeks later when I go back to do more heads. The mouth I really don't want to touch because I like the way that it is, and I don't want to be messing with that anymore. Got a little triangle there of darkness. So what's happening there? That's what we got to figure out. What's going on with this t-shirt? That makes more sense, I think. Chain thing there. I'm gonna try and do, can you see? Yeah, a little dark bit there. To show where the edge of the shirt is and that it's a little wrinkly. I don't know if that works. Tiny reflection in the earring. That looks cool. So we've got some darkness right there. That's as far as I want to go with the ear. We really don't need to make that the main focus of attention. I think the eyes and the nose to me are what sticks out the most. So let me try and kind of do that line without making this person look old. Wondering about also noses, making them darker. I like when people do that, but when I do it, I don't think it looks very good. So let's define that a little bit more like that. I don't know, that looks kind of cool, I guess. And then I gotta do this part. It's so hard to keep the pencil a consistent. Okay, maybe I just shouldn't have done this section of the book because it's so hard to keep the pencil in a consistent pressure. Because how it's like bouncy there. And also how I'm in this ridiculous section on the seam of the book. I like how the hat's very long. Put that little seam there to show that this hat feels kind of old or like floppy. Gotta make sure we get these little darkness in here. And I guess let's start, and then I just kind of go and darken whatever edges I find are the most important ones. They don't even have to be the most important, just the ones that you want to show. I guess let's go here. So there is a shadow there, and I'm inclined to sort of show that, but it is tricky with the hair because the hair is so like fine because it's a shaved head look, and I don't want to go too crazy on the details about that. So maybe if I go with a more darker grainy look, that'll be okay, I guess. Like closer together, not far apart lines, you know? Because it's going to look so weird if there's no shadow there. Pretty much, yeah. There is actually also just a little bit of a shadow here that I'd like to bring out just because that's nice. And I love making that little bit of the ear super dark. Shadow. There we go. So there's a really quick, I guess, demonstration of how I do that. Hopefully you got something out of this, and hopefully you enjoyed it. I enjoyed drawing it. $30? Yeah, sometimes it's hard to stop. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed, and this is the finished result, and I guess I'll see you next time. Bye!